300 years after our great nation began, we gather together to honor the completion of Vault 76. This sprawling underground shelter may have been engineered by Vault Tech, but it was built by you. So that if the bombs do come, our way of life will endure.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is all there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like the breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home.
For when the fighting is stopped and the fallout has settled, you must rebuild. Not just walls, not just buildings, but hearts and minds, and ultimately, America itself.
Country roads, take me home, country roads.
In Vault 76, our future begins.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? We're back at the live streaming. Today we're going to be doing some Fallout 76 live stream. I'm here with Keegan.
Hi guys.
Here with Sam.
What's up?
So these two are going to be playing, and I'm going to be on tablet, YouTube, Twitter duty. So yeah, we're going to actually just kind of jump right into it. We're going to start off with some character customization. We are going to be talking through a few points during the gameplay as well, but we thought we'd rather not have you stare at our ugly mugs the whole time, and you can actually see what's going on in the game. So I think let's jump straight into character customization. They're gonna, yeah, there we go, cool. So as you can see, we're actually gonna follow Keegan's screen mostly, as Keegan creates Bartholomew II.
Bartholomew the First was the best. Look at him. He's so fantastic.
Yeah.
Is he not just the apotheosis of what someone should be from the fall?
Bartholomew II is the son of Bartholomew I, who tragically died in a scorched beast accident. We don't know the details.
Yeah, they didn't want to tell us.
No, they didn't release the autopsy in time. So, yeah. And guys, as always, if you've got questions or comments for us, please let us know on Twitter at Nexus_AWX. You can also leave your comments in the YouTube chat. And yeah, so if you've got any comments, questions, we'll answer them, talk to you. Please engage with us. We do like it.
So, studios, we appreciate it.
Now we're going to present Fallout 76.
Every time.
Cool, so while you guys are doing that good things, let's talk about the history of Fallout 76, or actually Fallout games in general, rather. Fallout 76 takes place when exactly?
So Fallout 76 takes place in a kind of different setting to the other Fallout games. Usually the other Fallout games take place either like many years into the future. Fallout 76 takes place straight after the bombs fall.
Okay.
And this is the earliest we've ever seen Fallout to the nuclear Fallout, per se. The good thing about Fallout 76 is it's obviously taking place in Vault 76. This is a very rich place full of lore, full of amazing details that I think any Fallout fan will immediately appreciate. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And what is the significance of Vault 76 exactly?
Well, Vault 76 is a very special place in the Fallout universe. Should I actually go into spoilers?
Well, I mean, I suppose it's lore that's been spoken about in other games, really. So don't go into too much detail, just the overall impact of what 76 stands for, what it was about.
So basically, Fallout 76, okay, Vault 76, first of all, is in the land of West Virginia. This is a very real place. For anyone who might be wondering, West Virginia is not fictional. Basically, that's a good thing about Fallout. They've always taken place in real places. Washington DC, Boston. This time we are in West Virginia. That's a really cool place. Vault 76, on the other hand, is one of the most key vaults to the Fallout lore. This is where a lot of I wouldn't say, you know, in other vaults where Vault 111 had cryo experimentations, and the previous vault before that, if you can correct me, Fallout 3 was
Vault 101.
Vault 101. Yeah. Vault 76 is.
We pray that the world will know peace.
It's pretty much the
That is not our destiny.
it was the first vault to
War
open
must
after the
come.
bomb shot.
Yeah.
So most of the vaults were
We
about
stand
100
together,
years or so, if I
knowing
remember. So after,
here in
whereas Vault
Vault
76 was the first one to open.
Our
20,
future
it was meant to open 25 years after the bombs dropped, and or 20 years after the bombs dropped, and this one opens up 25 years. It's somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly, but yeah. So that's pretty much the significance of Vault 76.
Yeah, so with the history of the Fallout games, another thing I want to mention is that the Fallout games, Fallout 76 especially, does tie into the other games, lore-wise. This isn't a standalone kind of title.
Yeah.
This does affect the main lore of the Fallout games. And with Fallout 4, you saw how that affected sort of the Boston story side of it.
Yeah.
This time it's affecting, it's more like a prequel to the other Fallout games.
Okay.
And obviously you're going to get a lot of hints, a lot of
Yes,
references to the other games.
Yeah. So let's go back to the first Fallout game then. What we had? I can't remember his name. It's the guy in the tank, in the suit or whatever his name is. I can't remember what his name was.
You know, if you're going to go that far back, I think it's worth mentioning that Bethesda Studios actually made Fallout. This is the first time they are. Okay, it's not the first time, but they have only done Fallout games since Fallout 3.
Yes.
Before that, it was handled by a completely different studio.
Yeah.
And a lot of what Bethesda has been doing is almost trying to negate a lot of the lore that came before that. But Fallout 76, we will clearly see just now, is trying to also pay respect and homage to the older Fallout games. And I think that's something really cool.
Yeah. So then we go back to Fallout 3 then. Let's start there.
Yeah.
So Fallout 3 was, obviously we weren't introduced, but that's where we really saw the Brotherhood of Steel in action.
Yeah, that is the Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah, and also we had that whole Brotherhood of Steel versus Super Mutants thing going on, which was touched on in the games before, but as you said, it was a different studio. So Fallout 3, I think, was a great introduction for a lot of people into the Fallout franchise.
Yeah, just a lot of the people who are Fallout fans nowadays, they generally started with Fallout 3, and then obviously New Vegas came after that, and that was just the pinnacle of Fallout.
And I mean, that was Obsidian Entertainment.
That was Obsidian, yes.
Yeah,
that was not Bethesda.
One of the greatest Fallout games, actually, for a lot of people, has been venerated as the greatest Fallout title so far.
Yeah. Comparatively, I don't think New Vegas, without a doubt, is a really fantastic game. Fallout 4, I feel like doesn't get as much love as a lot of people give it, but it's one of my favorites in the series. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And Fallout 76, Fallout 4, we saw pretty much, it was one of the first times we saw the bombs dropping, actually.
Yeah.
We got a little scene of the bombs actually dropping. And we obviously had to follow that storyline, and Vault 76, I keep saying Vault 76, Fallout 76 rather, follows a bit of a different take on things in that there's no NPCs or anything like that. So let's move on to our first Fallout experiences. What was your, actually let me ask you this time, what was your first Fallout experience?
My first Fallout was Fallout 3.
As we said, Fallout 3, and?
It was quite a daunting one for me because I went based off of playing Skyrim first, and I decided, hey, you know, Bethesda games are really nice. Let me see what I can get out of Fallout. Yeah. And all I ended up doing was fighting with Caesar.
Okay, as everyone does, really. I think it's kind of an initiation process to fight with Caesar.
Yeah, it was actually a scary experience for me. I mean, I was all alone. Got shot in the head.
Well, it's better than Fallout 3 where you open up with a giant battle between the Brotherhood of Steel and the Super Mutants, which was fun.
Yeah,
know?
That was actually pretty fun.
That was,
yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to make my guy fat. Just going for it.
So Keegan's now made a purple-haired goatee chin guy. Any other names you're thinking of here?
I'm thinking he's a lot older than Bartholomew.
Yeah, I'm thinking so maybe Bartholomew Senior.
No, we have to go a bit up there.
Grand Senior?
Nah, I think he might actually.
The first?
He might be breaking off of the
Progenitor. I like Progenitor. Bartholomew Progenitor.
Can the names actually do that?
Progenimu.
He's a goth though.
Okay, well you can say Progenimu. I guess that works. Okay. Your first Fallout experience?
My first Fallout experience was Fallout New Vegas, and I know that's I
jumped into a really good one.
I jumped into probably the best one first. I know a lot of people still think, okay, Fallout 3 was the starting point. I started with New Vegas, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And that carried out throughout all my Fallout experiences. I always compared it to New Vegas.
Yeah.
And straight after that, I played Fallout 3 and then Fallout 4, but I never actually got the chance to go back and revisit some of the older Fallout games, the more asymmetric Fallout games.
Yeah. So, my first Fallout experience was actually Fallout 4, funny enough.
Yeah.
Well, I say Fallout 4, but I played Fallout 3, played that intro, and I don't know, it just didn't grip me at the time. Didn't really enjoy it that much, so played, and then I never got the chance to play Fallout New Vegas before 4 came out, and then when 4 came out, I thought, I'm just going to jump straight into it.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that so much, I actually went back and played the 3rd and New Vegas as well. And I can kick myself in the butt for not doing New Vegas first, I must be honest. For me, that's my favorite Fallout game. I don't know about you guys, but that's definitely what's going on there. I don't know if you guys can see what Sam's making, and I say what for a reason, because I just caught a picture of it in my eye, and
that is not human.
It is probably, it's not human. I can't wait to show you guys what I'm creating.
We had the character naming process.
Yeah, so
I don't think I want to put him for.
Call him number 1, or Saskatchewan, Sasuka. Okay, maybe you guys know what that means. I don't. I'm not even gonna wonder.
I'm just gonna we're going for it.
I see the YouTube chat is blowing up. So we got Mick Me on the Moon, who says Rip Bartholomew. Have to pay respects. Zane says, here we go, boys. Thanks, Zane. Mick Me on the Moon says, again, starting to sing Country Roads. Yeah, well, that's been playing on loop the whole day.
Trust us. Yeah.
It's happening. Chaylene says, Keegzo.
Oh,
so I think Keegan's got a few admirers on this chat. He often gets comments.
Not feeling left out, guys.
No.
Okay.
Zane says, make him Indian.
No.
I don't know if that's racially insensitive or not, but I mean, Shailene says this looks like Santa on crack.
Probably does. Yes.
Yeah, more like Santa gone bad on crack. I don't know. Keegan's not playing with a photo editor.
Santa who shipped a lot of acid, I'd say.
Yeah, or join a carny or something.
See, this is okay. Santa looks fine when it comes to Christmas time, but this is the New Year's party.
So we got a comment from Kavesh Bruv Life, who is asking a lot from this game. Who's saying, "I hope this game doesn't crash." We are playing a Bethesda game. It's a Fallout game as well. So
we are trying our
don't
best.
go too far.
I don't know. Kavesh asks, "Is he a male feminist?"
He indeed is.
Okay.
He's a nice guy.
Alright.
It's very nice.
And he knows how to play guitar.
There we go. Does he sing Wonderwall?
Nah.
Okay. Alright. Wow, you really went in on the fat thing, eh?
I did.
Oh.
I mean,
Okay, nice.
it feels actually floating.
Shailene says he low-key kind of cute.
Oh, he's adorable.
Yeah.
Where are you, sir?
You know?
Did you leave already?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you.
Kavesh says this is what peak performance looks like. Yeah, we tend to agree. Okay. And Mick Me on the Moon says I also started with New Vegas. It's so good. Kavesh says New Vegas is the best of the Bethesda Fallout games. I think that's the general consensus with most Fallout fans. That New Vegas is pretty much the greatest.
Probably hands down the best Fallout game.
Do you think there's a way I could save electricity in this place by switching all this stuff off?
No. So with Microsoft
Then
also acquiring Obsidian, guy. Hey, Keegan's idle thoughts just kind of pop up, and So with Microsoft obtaining Obsidian as part of their Microsoft Studios, we're hoping for a sequel to New Vegas, which I think would be really cool as well.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
actually. I would love a New Vegas sequel. Bethesda, if you're watching, please make New Vegas 2 happen. Oh, right now, Microsoft, please make New Vegas 2 happen.
On a new engine.
Sam, disappear into
On a new engine.
Okay.
Sam, I don't see you.
Is Sam in your session? Actually, in your...
Different serving
I
entirely.
think he might be.
Yeah.
Considering none of you on each other's screens.
I'm going to switch servers right now.
Okay, Sam's going to do that. And while he does that, we're going to talk a bit about the Fallout 76 lore and the monsters. And I know
Yep.
you just did a creature feature
I did.
for all the monsters in 76.
Yeah.
So just talk us through a little bit of the monsters going on there.
Fallout 76 has a lot of monsters.
Mm.
A metric ton of monsters. And this is the first time that Bethesda has actually focused on the monster side of it. I know in the other Fallout games there were monsters, but they were never the focal point of the game.
Yeah.
The focal point was always been about survival and, you know, sort of paving your own way in the world. Fallout 76 is more like Monster Hunter post-apocalyptic edition.
Okay.
It's the way I see it.
Yeah.
And the monster designs are incredible
Yeah.
in this game. If I have to
Yeah.
give credit to something,
Okay.
it's that. You get things like
Yeah.
giant sloths,
Yeah.
bat dragon hybrid creatures.
And those are the Scorch Beasts, huh?
Those are the Scorch Beasts. Yeah, cool. Hopefully we'll encounter one today.
We can only hope.
We can only hope. But we will try and find as many monsters as possible in our playthrough to show you guys some of the really awesome creatures in the game.
And correct me if I'm wrong, there's 4 times the amount of creatures in this game compared
Yeah.
to other Fallout games, huh?
There are a lot of creatures, yeah.
Alright. So,
just without
yeah.
spoiling anything, there are death claws in the game. For anyone asking, I know they've been a fan favorite creature
Yes,
in
yeah.
all of the Fallout games.
Yeah.
This game does have death claws, but for the first time in a Fallout game, they are not the scariest creatures.
Yeah.
So yeah, that should give you an idea.
And how do you feel about all these new monsters being introduced in the game that technically happens before all the others?
The one thing I actually sort of deduced for myself is that because this is so soon after the nuclear fallout happened, the radiation from all that nuclear waste and stuff is going to obviously affect the monsters in different ways.
Okay.
Affect these animals, I should say. And since it's so soon after the nuclear fallout,
Yes.
we can see the full extent of that radiation.
Okay.
And we can see, sort of 200 years into the future, obviously some of these creatures died out. This time we can actually see them before they died out,
Alright.
which is, I think that's the reason why there's so many creatures.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you excited for any creatures?
I want to see Mothman.
Mothman.
We're
We're gonna hunt
Mothman.
down Mothman.
Mothman is amazing. We're not hunt. No, take that back.
Not hunt him down as in kill him. I just mean go and find him or summon him. I don't know what you do in this game. Okay, well we're gonna go find Mothman.
Thank you.
Maybe we just bring a torch
Have to listen to this.
and he'll come to us.
No, he doesn't just come to you.
Okay, well that's lame.
He's a bitch.
It's the kind of the
Are you
trait of a
my-
moth, but you know.
Are you my thing now, Sam?
I am trying to see who's in Vault 76.
Is probably me.
Probably this guy.
Oh, Sasha. Is that your name?
No.
Okay, then that is not you. I'm gonna have
Okay,
to
we're gonna
insert
go hunt for the Keegan's world.
Currently, I'm loaded in the only server that doesn't exist.
Keegan doesn't want to admit it, but he's paid for his own server. He just won't tell us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in cahoots.
Yeah.
Mr. Todd Howard himself. It's amazing.
Ooh, Keegan, you've been called Archer. Kavesh says, if this game sells more than 5 million copies, I will give Keegan my Dark Souls 3 Fire Fades edition.
Oh, 3 million copies is not a lot. I
5
should say
million.
that.
5 million. 5 million copies.
Do you
That's
think
still not a
it will
lot.
sell 5 million copies?
Yes.
Alright,
I do.
It's Fallout.
I really do.
It's going to sell 5 million.
Yeah, I mean, there's contention
So-
around it, but it's still a Fallout game. This
Yeah.
game's gonna sell.
Regardless, it's going to
Yeah.
sell. So
Yeah.
Kavesh.
Kavesh, get ready to lose your Dark Souls 3 Fire Fades edition.
Yeah.
What about 76 makes this game unique compared to other Fallout games in the series?
I think what makes this one unique is obviously the fact that this is a multiplayer game. This is not like the other Fallout games that were predominantly single player games. So with multiplayer comes a lot of opportunities to sort of meet up with other people in this world, and
Yes.
hopefully we can show you, if we do connect to the server, what that means.
Yes.
That's going out into the open now.
Yeah. I mean, it was a bit random. Out of nowhere, it popped up.
It's a proud moment for him.
Okay. Are you finally leaving the vault?
Yeah.
Did you guys not need to leave the vault to be in the session?
No. He has to...
Are you sure?
Yeah, yeah. You can join in my session anytime. I think I'm able to invite him
Yes,
actually
but-
to my session.
Actually,
Maybe that might be
try
a better
to invite
idea.
me once I
Yes.
actually get out of the vault.
Yeah, like get out the
Then-
vault and...
Yeah, Sam has to
Yeah.
recreate his character again for the
Yeah.
third time. Shame.
Which is, yeah.
Make
Can
him
you,
purple
can,
headed.
yeah, just no purple hair. We're not starting a gang here, guys. Please.
Says you.
Okay.
I mean, it's part of our esports group.
Fine, I will change the
Yeah,
color of my
we're
hair.
starting our Fallout 76 esports clan.
Patent pended.
Yep. We're gonna be called the Mothmen.
The Mothmen.
The
I like
Mothmen.
that.
Yes.
Mothman fanatics.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could sit here and wait for Sam, or I could go out into the world, which is what I'm going to do.
So you're just gonna abandon a man?
I'm not abandoning him. Wait, I got glasses. Hold on.
Yes, that's what you need in the wasteland is glasses.
Oh yeah.
That is a guy who knows how to party. That's a guy you want to survive the nuclear wasteland with. That's the ideal for.
People are shooting at things. Yeah, just.
Keegan, what for you makes 76 unique? Aside from the multiplayer aspect.
I was about to say the fact that it was so seamless the first time I went into it. But I guess it's one of those games where you have this freedom to explore and just do you.
Okay.
Like, there is nothing right now tethering me. I mean, there is an objective there, but it remains quirky as all Fallout games have been, where you just take the world on as you are.
Okay.
Which is pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I was just gonna say it's a pretty big map. So do you find that it's a bit of a lonely experience compared to other Fallout games?
Yeah, the lack of NPCs or any other contact sometimes can get a bit lonely.
Okay.
But you can also ask yourself like interpersonal questions about life.
I suppose. I mean, you could. You know, there's no reason why you can't. So what do we got? Zane who says Vic and Glenn say goodbye. I don't know if he means goodbye in the stream, but you know.
Let me go.
And Kavish says MLG Mothman team sponsored by Monsters and Doritos.
Yes.
Yes. Although I prefer Lay's or Simba. I don't mind. Either way. So, in terms of,
do you think I can?
Why is your face asymmetrical? Sorry, I know you guys can't see what Sam's creating here, but why is it asymmetrical? May I ask? Did you get hit in the jaw?
Kind of, yeah. The jaw is actually like dislocated.
Yeah. So the face doesn't round at the bottom. It goes here and then it goes. So there's like a straight line on the left hand side. Yeah,
that's the actual.
It's the scientific term for that for the face condition. It's called Zuch's disease. There's no known cure, unfortunately. We haven't discovered it yet.
Zuch is my new favorite word.
Oh, yeah. There's some very interesting creations going on here.
Zuch. It's my new favorite.
Why do you mock people who suffer from this condition? You know what? I really hope that you learn your lesson soon.
Glenn and Vic came to say bye personally after I play banjo in your honor, sir.
What song does he know? Does he know Wonderwall? He didn't answer me.
No, he doesn't. He just plays a beat.
Okay, alright. I mean, does he know any songs?
I mean, he's playing the song right now.
Okay, but what song is it? Did he make it himself?
Yeah, he's releasing a mixtape.
Okay, sweet. It's gonna be fire.
It really is proper fire.
We're gonna have a blast.
Ooh, get it? Oh, I see what you did there.
No one laughs at my puns. I'm punny. Wow.
He's the only person that says he's funny. You can see the pattern here, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. So moving on. So as you can see now, we've got some gameplay footage going up here. So let's talk about the graphics a little bit. How do you guys feel about the graphics in 76?
I'm not a fan, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm stuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you stuck on the graphics or is that what you meant?
Oh, this thing looks like it wants to attack me.
It's a level 5. You're level 2. I don't think you're gonna come out of this well. Hit it with a pen. Hit it with a pen.
I think I
can you? No, that's crafting. Do you really want to craft at this time?
Something's happening.
He's crafting while a bot attacks him. That's it.
Bot's whooping my ass.
That's.
Oh, running for my life.
Did you know cooking recipes are unlocked by gathering new plants and meat? Did you know that?
I know that now.
Okay. All right. Just checking. So yes, you were saying about the graphics. The graphics aren't really capturing you.
I mean, I'm not a fan. Coming out of games like Red Dead Redemption, Odyssey, the comparison. Oof. Sorry, just have to make it.
Okay, so let's not compare. I mean, obviously, it's a bit unfair to compare games across different IPs and stuff. So let's talk about this compared to Fallout 4, which is obviously the latest release. So there's 3 years difference between. Do you see that there's 3 years difference between them?
I mean, you can see the new lighting effects and the color palette, which I am a fan of. Okay. Which is pretty nice. But aside from that, it's the shrubbery is pretty cool for me. I'm getting attacked by everything.
It's a wild mongrel. So same graphics for you compared to Fallout 4?
There's a certain level of aesthetics that you sort of expect out of a Fallout.
Yeah.
And with Fallout 76, I feel like they're just continuing Fallout 4's visual style.
Okay.
The graphics...
Is that a bad thing for you? Sorry.
It's not really a bad thing for me, because I actually like the look of Fallout 4.
Yeah.
And, you know, Fallout 76 is obviously continuing that same art style.
Yeah.
But noticeably, when you have games like The Witcher 3 out, and Metal Gear Solid 5, and Red Dead Redemption 2, these are graphically way more advanced games. And for Fallout 76 to come out in this state at this time is...
Okay.
It sort of feels like it's lagging behind the times.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So, and in terms of, so obviously, you know, there's not just the graphics engine, which has kind of remained the same, but they've also used the same engine from Fallout 4 as well.
They have.
The same game engine, which has obviously caused quite a bit of contention lately in the community. So, what about this game engine just doesn't work?
Look, Bethesda's creation engine is good for a lot of things. I think, first of all, Bethesda excels at world building.
Okay.
And they couldn't have done it without the creation engine.
Yeah.
And when you sort of imagine a open world Bethesda game, you have these sort of preconceived notions of what they are going to be, what the world is going to be like.
Yeah.
And with the creation engine this time, I feel like the limitations are that obviously Bethesda's new games release in a very broken state.
Yeah.
And as we'll come to see with Fallout 76, it's no different. This game is riddled with bugs. I personally haven't encountered a lot of game-breaking bugs.
Yes.
But there's a lot of glitches in the game that sort of put me off the experience sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So Keegan's just met another person who's sending heart emotes to each other. Can you talk to us a little bit about how the PvP works?
So PvP is quite broken at its current state. Thankfully, you only have to be level 5 and upwards to engage it, so nobody, you know, is going to...
So how do you actually engage PvP?
So the way it happens is you have to hit the person first, and then if they hit you back, then it engages. But what is broken about it is the fact that if you hit them, it takes a small amount of damage, whereas if they hit you, it does full damage.
Okay.
So that's...
That seems a bit off, because considering if they've got a powerful enough weapon, they can essentially kill you before you have a chance to react.
Exactly.
Okay. Alright.
So that is the current problem.
Okay. So I feel like the game engine, so we spoke about the game engine just now.
Yeah.
And I feel like it needs a better core system, you would say?
I would say.
Core structure.
Basically, the Bethesda's current engine, the creation engine, is
Sam,
lacking. Yes.
press options and then join me.
Press options.
Social.
Friends, yeah.
Friends.
There we go.
Join. Oh, there we
Finally,
go. I am joining
we
as well.
finally have that
Yes.
sorted. Awesome.
Sorry, as I was saying,
yes, you were saying.
the creation engine, the limitations of it is really not the best thing in this day and age.
Yeah.
Clear as day that the game is gorgeous, don't get me wrong. There are a few really gorgeous aspects of this game, but it needs a lot of work.
Okay.
It really needs to be improved.
Yeah.
First of all, Bethesda needs to work on the bugs and glitches across the games. And if they want to go forward making Elder Scrolls 6, Starfield, they have to sort these issues out.
So that's another thing I was going to touch on. So what do you feel that the creation engine is just not going to be good enough for these upcoming games?
I feel like Creation Engine 2 might be.
Okay.
In the current state of using the same assets and stuff in Creation Engine 1, I feel like it's not going to live up to its own potential. And I would love to see Starfield and especially the Elder Scrolls 6 be these amazing games that are mostly bug-free. But in the current state that the Creation Engine is in now, I don't think it's going to last very long.
Well, I mean, a lot of people like to hate on Destiny, for example, but that is a great looking game.
It is.
For a sci-fi game, it really looks incredible.
Yeah.
So, do you feel that Starfield should look a bit more like that? And do you think Creation is going to be able to pull that off?
I don't necessarily think Starfield should look like Destiny in any way. I feel like it should carve its own path.
Yeah, for sure. So
create its own visual style to it.
Yeah. Okay. And do you think Creation will be able to do that?
It will. It's a fantastic engine. It's just that Bethesda needs to fix a lot of the issues with it and utilize it properly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And in terms of, so, we spoke earlier a little bit about the whole lack of NPCs, like you were saying, it feels a bit. Is it not weird? Because watching you guys and seeing no NPCs, so far you've seen a few bots, robots, and a wild mongrel.
Yeah.
And that's about it. It feels already like the world is not... obviously there's just kind of come out of nuclear war.
Yeah.
Just got hit with a bomb, and I understand that, but it still looks a bit barren, to be very honest.
Obviously, that was a huge point of contention when this game was being made. A lot of people feared that the lack of NPCs in the game would mean that the game is a lonely experience. And to some degree, I do agree with that. It's a very lonely experience. But what I found in sort of, walking around, exploring by myself is that you really begin to like feel immersed in this world. Like, this is a world that's empty, but it's empty for a reason. This is straight after the Fallout. Obviously there's not going to be signs of life, but with the NPCs in the previous games came a structured story, and that's something that's bugging me about the game is we don't have a structure to the story. It's more like the quests are structured in that you have to sort of go to terminals, find notes, and sort of do these mundane fetch quests and a lot of remedial quests. Like
sorry, not to interrupt you, but I just want to showcase. Keegan did can you fast travel to?
Fast traveling to him right now.
Okay, so if someone's far away from you on the map, you can just fast travel. You don't have to, track through the whole map to go back to them. Okay, that's a cool feature at least, because I mean that's one of the problems with big, massive open world games. Is the fast traveling is really helpful, especially when you want to get to something quickly. I remember The Witcher 3 for me suffered in that a little bit. Obviously you could fast travel from your posts, but posts would be so far away. You'd be in the middle of a battle, you'd realize, oh no, I need something. And you'd have to fast travel back to a city, but to get to that post to fast travel was always a problem. So it's nice to see that they've at least added. Okay, so yes, now you can see what I'm saying when I say Sam's character is asymmetrical for some reason and looks half eaten, I want to say, in this light. Are you half eaten or just dirty?
I honestly can't tell what I made. I pressed random buttons and things happened.
So obviously now you've created your own look. How easy, or should I say, is the character customization as in depth as it was in Fallout 4?
It is very in depth. Fallout 4, that's one thing I'll give praise to Fallout 4 is the character creation is amazing. And I always get to have fun experimenting with what I want to create, who I want to create. And if you go online, actually, you can see a lot of people who have actually created like characters from other games. Some people have created Solid Snake from Metal Gear. Others have created Ciri and Geralt from The Witcher. And it's amazing what you can do with this character.
I remember someone created a Joker as well. Someone created a Joker character.
It is possible to create the Joker in this game, and that's so cool.
Alright. And getting back to your comments about the storyline and the quests and stuff. Do you feel that this game wanders aimlessly in any way, or do you just sort of meander about until something happens?
I think that's the beauty of the game. The whole point of it is sort of to just wander around aimlessly until something happens. But in that, I found that wandering around, you sort of just make your own make your own journey. It's the sort of thing where the best things in this moment happen at random. There's really no structure or point to it. You just stumble upon amazing things that happen in the world, and there you are.
And obviously now you guys have gotten a little bit of combat going, even though it is mongrels. Does it feel any better than it did in Fallout 4? Or is it just kind of there as it was?
No, it really does feel smooth. There is a certain weight to the weapons. And I think the only thing I haven't become a fan of so far is the melee combat, but it's growing on me as time goes.
So I was just actually going to talk about that. So you're not running around with a panga, with what it looks like. The shetty. I suppose that's what the Americans call it. We call it a panga. Anyway, so you say it adds weight to the weapons. Does it feel? Is it the animation sequence? What feels different about the melee that you're not really interested in?
I feel it's just the way it makes contact against enemies. It just feels, with the satisfaction that comes from shooting the guns, it doesn't feel as good or as polished in comparison within its own game.
So I see there's a heavier emphasis on crafting in this game as well. So what? I mean, you just come out of the vault and have to craft your own weapons?
Basically, the first thing you do in the game is you have to go to this workbench area, and you sort of have to craft your weapon, craft your armor. And it does this thing where it sort of like goes on its own tangent. But it's like, we are going to teach you the game through this very rudimentary tutorial. But it's not like Fallout 4 where, the actual structure of the tutorial was well integrated into the story. It's sort of just go from point A to point B,
Okay.
go and pick
Alright.
up this, and go from point B to point C, go and do this.
So you're saying it just doesn't feel as fluid as what Fallout 4 felt?
It really doesn't feel as fluid as that.
Okay.
But
Does
with
it
that-
pick up over time?
It does pick up.
Okay.
Fortunately, it does pick up.
Alright.
And once this game, you've hit the 5-hour mark, and it really starts picking up from there. That's where the game just takes off, and it's amazing.
All right.
Yeah.
And okay, so obviously we need to discuss the theme song for Fallout 76, which is, for those who don't know, it's John Denver's Country Roads.
Well, Bethesda.
Well, obviously
made their
this is
own
the
cover.
Bethesda's own rendition.
Yeah.
But it is based off John Denver's Country Roads, and yeah, I mean
That's one thing I actually like about the Fallout games is they always have these theme songs that you can sort of
Yes.
include in the game. And with Fallout 4, I don't know if you remember, the theme song of that was Atom Bomb Baby
Yeah.
by the 5 Stars, and
Yes.
I love that song. It was my ringtone for the longest
Yes.
time. And Fallout 76, they used John Denver's amazing Country Roads, and I bet a lot of you right now are
Yeah.
singing this in your head, but it suits the game.
Yeah.
The song is about West Virginia. This game takes place in West Virginia. Coincidence.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it also, I suppose, it also it ties in with the theme nicely because 76 is obviously the first vault to open
Yeah.
after the war.
Yeah.
And the song talks about taking you home, going home and
Yeah. So it's beautiful in the sense that the song encompasses the game so
Yeah.
well, and you can look at the actual song as just another romance or something, but
yeah.
in the context of Fallout, it makes so much
Yes.
sense. It really does.
Okay. So we're just going to hop onto the comments here.
Yep.
On Twitter, Crispin Stopforth says, Keegan, dogs don't like you.
I noticed that.
I think maybe it's because you keep hacking them or shooting them.
Well, sorry, it's not like I have a choice.
Tame them. Just love them. That's all they want. That's all they're asking for. They've been alone for 20 years. Do you blame them? No human contact. Actually sounds like a great idea.
Does actually.
And so we're going to go on to YouTube here where Keegan, #1 fanboy. This game could have looked better. Damn, Todd Howard. I think that's how we're all feeling at the moment.
I think we're all feeling that right now.
Yeah. Kavesh Bruvlife says Todd Howard is an outdated engine. That is top comment right there.
That right there
is
is probably comment of the
absolute
day.
brilliant.
Todd Howard is a dated game engine.
Kavesh says this game would look better with the Dunia engine or Unreal.
Definitely. In the Unreal Engine, this game would look like miles better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw kind of snippets of what the Spyro trilogy looked like when that modder used the Unreal 4 engine.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a game from, what, 20 years ago or so?
20 years ago.
Yeah.
And just sort of
And it just looked
recreated it.
absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And where did you find the giant head with a hat on
So
it?
you can craft this item as soon
Okay.
as you begin the game.
Yeah.
But only if you have the Tricentennial Edition.
Okay.
Which I highly recommend you pick up just for
Yeah.
this item alone. It's
Not having
So-
that
so-
Tricentennial edition makes me want to just walk inside here.
And
there is rat poisoning in this water, Keegan.
So
I
Keegan's
don't know if you noticed that.
just slurping up dirty water,
Who cares?
not caring about the radiation.
Because I don't have the Tricentennial edition. No, this is what you call game assault.
I'm curious, can you drown?
No.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right.
But
I
I am
don't think it's
officially
possible to drown.
radiated to all hell and back.
You're just gonna die of radiation poisoning. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a much better way than drowning.
Eventually, you will get a lot of rats and you will die.
I've
Okay.
been coffee
Yeah.
cups for years though.
Are you gonna scoop up water with your coffee cups?
So
think you-
Keegan,
Yes.
should we go and try and look for something to show people?
Yes.
Since we are in
think-
Flatwoods,
I think we should.
should we go find a few beasties?
Yes.
Yes.
All right,
While you guys find BCs, I'm gonna hop onto the YouTube comments again.
all right.
So yeah, Keegan's #1 fanboy again says game seems NT, which is disappointing. And I think
Yeah.
it's definitely something that
Back
we
of
keep
glory.
going back onto, but
Yeah.
it's a really big problem for this game because Fallout has always been known for its incredible world vibrance. You know, it's always been venerated. The studio itself has always been venerated for creating these worlds that are just so fully fleshed out.
Yeah,
You know, with not just NPCs but characters with interesting backstories and
definitely.
you know, like not just the protagonist or the antagonist, but the NPCs alone.
Nothing in there, I guess.
You know, always generally tend to make that story feel so much fuller, and the world
The wheel.
the world
Yeah.
feel that much bigger.
Yeah.
And I think, would you agree that this time around not having NPCs has really detrimented that and really kind of taken that Bethesda beauty out of this game?
I feel like, look, that's a difficult question.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the way Fallout, the art style of Fallout, I should say,
Yeah.
the visuals of Fallout, it's very iconic for what it is. And you can't imagine Fallout sort of looking hyper-realistic like Red Dead Redemption or something. Because it just wouldn't fit the art style of the game. And I feel like this is the case with Fallout. It's in this predicament where it has to keep this visual fidelity that's more iconic to the series. But at the same time, just polish up the graphics. Because, I mean, some of the textures are just downright ugly in this game.
You know, I think
some of the spots that we will see. Yeah.
I think it's not even just a case of polishing textures or whatever, because I mean this is always, I think this, and as you were saying with the art style especially, this has always been a key Bethesda art style, is this kind of, you know, not extremely rough, I want to say, but like almost unpolished kind of feel to the world, and that's always something that's pretty much shone through in every single Bethesda title to date, really. And it's not actually a bad thing, considering they generally tend to focus on the world. You know, they tend to focus on the creatures, the world, and everything else like that. So I think that's what's got me most disappointed, is that there's not only the fact that the graphics are seemingly outdated, or at least exceptionally resembles Fallout 4, but the fact that there's no world fluff. If that makes sense. You know, we always tend to say world fluff in a bad way. But this time, you'd rather take world fluff in a bad way over nothing, you know?
It's not that the game doesn't have anything. It's just the lack of NPCs does get to you after a while. And when you do spot the fact that certain things just don't click in this game, like for example, the structure of the quests, then it becomes a glaring issue that, you know, I am lonely. You sort of get this crushing sense of loneliness in the game.
Okay. And Keegan, Inkblot Pictures would like to tell you, please stop stealing stuff or they'll send more Mongols to Munchie.
Wow.
Yeah. I think you're feeling the love.
It's not that they're stealing stuff, it's just that they...
It's called reappropriation.
Reappropriation.
Or looting, I suppose is what they call it. Keegan, your fanboy is really repping you, hey? He's really showing you some love here.
Keegan has the most devoted following.
Thanks, fanboy. We appreciate you.
I honestly love my friends. They're the greatest.
So, Kavesh talks about Jim Sterling's impression of the game got him in the feels. So Jim Sterling, I mean, is known for his controversial take on things, his more cynical take on things. But I suppose this time around we can't really just look at it as being cynical.
It's not really cynical. Look, a lot of what Jim Sterling actually said this time does hold some weight. He has some very surprisingly valid criticisms for Fallout 76, and it's not just saying it to spite the game, it's more of a constructive look at the game.
So I want to also quickly interrupt you here. We're talking about the graphics. And as we can see, I mean, from far away, that Brahmin looked okay. But as soon as you get up close, it just looks like the textures just aren't rendering.
Look, that's anything in this game that you get up close and personal with is gonna look pretty ugly. For example, Keegan, come over here.
Wait.
Right here. Stand here. So, if you just look at the textures on my face and stuff, there's really not a lot of polish when you actually get too close to it. Don't go inside my head. That's kind of scary. Though,
that's one of the greatest Bethesda things.
I don't have hair underneath the helmet. That's
which
insane.
Is it's also it's extremely jarring because you know you've got the road which has got these cracks and little flaws and whatever that are so distinct and so distinguishable. And then right next to it is a pile of leaves which kind of just looks like a lumped piece of code. You know, it's
like this.
Well, I mean, you know, case in point.
What I will say though is, if you're going to play this game under scrutiny, this game will definitely show its flaws.
For sure.
But if you're a Fallout fan, if you enjoyed Fallout 4, this is something that you are going to love. I mean, it's more Fallout 4.
At least they haven't gone backwards.
Definitely not.
In terms graphically at least they haven't gone. They haven't gone backwards, which is, I suppose, a plus.
It is a plus. It's a huge plus.
Let's see. What are more people saying? Prashen says love. I can't English today. I'm sorry. LMAO, my butt used default generic face in Fallout 4 because it's nearest thing to my own. We're not sure if you're trying to say that your face is just generic, like your face is generic, or you look exactly like the character from Fallout 4. We hope it's the latter, because that would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Okay, so there, sorry to interrupt you. There, now we've got a little red guy. What's the deal going on there? Why is he wanted? What's happening?
I actually don't know. I was about to ask.
Okay, so I actually
the
encountered
wanted
this
system
before.
work? Yeah.
So what happens is if you kill other players and
Yes.
you keep on doing it, you get this sort of red icon above your head.
Okay.
That says if you kill this guy,
Yeah.
essentially you will get a lot of coin for him. So above his head you'll see 18. That's
okay.
not just his level. That's also the amount of coins.
Okay.
Sorry, caps you'll
Caps,
get out
yeah.
of killing him.
Okay.
And Keegan, if you just look over to this guy right now, he's pretty shaken up. He sort of doesn't trust us right now.
Well, I mean, he is wanted, so maybe he's just worried. Is Keegan going to shoot him? Who's going to shoot him?
Unfortunately, we can't actually engage in PvP until we are
Oh, yes,
at a
level
certain
5.
Level.
Level 5.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I wouldn't engage him anyway. He is level 16. So
Yeah.
maybe that'll be a bad
Probably
idea.
not the best idea to engage in a higher level enemy
Yeah.
than us right now. Yeah.
And Keegan's #1 fanboy says, I always play as a chaotic neutral. So that jogs an interesting question. What do you play as in your Fallout games? You know, you've got your chaotic evil, your neutral evil, and then your good evil, I think it is.
Yeah.
So where are you on the spectrum?
I try to go good, I'm not gonna lie. I try.
Good
But
evil.
then
Okay.
my inner renegade for life
Just
takes
pops out.
over.
Okay.
So at the beginning, I'm a good citizen. At the end of it, it's like,
And then he just fails, like he does in most things.
yeah,
Basically.
always.
It's fine. We'll wait for your fanboy to back that. We know you will.
Thanks.
And Sam, how are you? In your
I'm chaotic.
Chaotic.
Full chaotic.
chaotic.
If I can cause as much chaos in the wastelands, I will do that.
Okay. All right. So that's always something to note. I mean, I always generally tend to leave.
I'm in the same team as him.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. I generally tend to stay pretty neutral. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Not chaotic, not good. Pretty neutral. I mean, I'll help out if you more of a convenience for me than anything else.
Yeah, an inconvenience sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, if you're an inconvenience, I'm gonna leave you alone because I don't have time to waste on you. But yeah, it's interesting to see. It's also that's one of the things I've always loved about RPGs and especially with the Fallout games is to watch people play so differently. You know?
Yeah.
Especially in Skyrim as well. It's always
Yeah.
funny to watch videos of people just going mad and killing towns and chickens and stuff. It's hilarious, really.
Actually, guys at home, if you're watching, let us know what your gameplay style
Yes.
is for Fallout.
Yes.
We'd love to hear some opinions.
And speaking of chickens, aren't there chickens in this game?
There are chickens in
There
this
are
game. Yes.
chickens in this game.
The chickens are the most vicious things in this game.
If anyone from Bethesda is watching, or if anyone at home knows any reason why Bethesda's got this sudden obsession with chickens, please let us know. It's been bugging me since Skyrim came out.
Look, okay, what happens in Skyrim is if you come across a chicken, run. Because if you accidentally so much as sneeze on a chicken, you will get half of Whiterun and Skyrim chasing you, and you do not want
And that's
that.
why I'm asking, what is the
best?
best?
Yeah, have you seen these things? They're like pack hunters.
Yes, and
chickens
the
are pack
green ones
hunters,
as
yeah.
well.
Yes.
And-
I was
and-
traveling at night the other time when I was playing some Fallout 76, and this random thing just pecked me, and I was like, "What is this?" So I killed it, obviously.
Yeah.
And then it just came like
Does
vicious.
the horde come after you?
Wow, I was so shook.
Left 4 Dead for who?
Left 4 Dead for who?
You know.
It was crazy.
Let's see. What else are people saying?
Yep.
Kavesh says, I always played as the good boy.
Oh, yeah, the goodest boy.
The goodest boy.
Yeah, gotta have the goodest boy.
Yeah. Shailene Cyanide says same. Hoping you say same as in you play as good boy, or I mean, I don't know.
Chaotic.
So, or
if
chaotic.
you're chaotic, join me. You know, come to the dark side.
One of us.
One of us.
One of
Don't do it.
We're starting a clan, just so you know. We're still accepting endorsements. Anyone watching. I mean, we do donations as well. We got another guy, James van der Berg, who says, as a huge fan of the Fallout series, it took me some time to realize that this isn't Fallout 5. This was made with the idea of how would Fallout 4 be online.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? So, obviously there's the discussion about this being a Fallout 4 mod for online, but it's evolved into its own game.
Basically, yeah.
How do we feel about that?
That is essentially what Fallout 76 is. It's multiplayer Fallout 4. And not that that's a bad thing, because like I said, I enjoyed Fallout 4. And if you go into this with the expectations of it being in Fallout 4 online, you're going to love this game. But if you're expecting Fallout 5, look elsewhere. This is not Fallout 5. Yeah.
And do you feel that this kind of needed its own setting to be a Fallout 4 multiplayer?
Yes. Okay, I will say one thing though, that I will give praises to High Evans for Fallout 76 is West Virginia, this world itself, is incredible.
Okay.
I love it more than Boston. It is so amazing.
Okay.
And I wish I could show you more of it.
So unfortunately we can't swap screens, we can't change between Keegan and Sam.
But Keegan, if you can just open up your world map for a second.
Yes.
And you can just zoom out and show everyone the sheer density of this map.
So something I want to talk about the map as well is that it's very different to the maps that you got in your previous games, where it was that hologram on the pipboard. Or should I say that just standard green looking
like
pixelated style map with just icons and that was it. Whereas this time they've gone for what seems like a tourist guide almost.
It's probably like a tourist guide, and it's all for the better because this is obviously 4 times bigger than Boston in Fallout 4. It is a huge map. I know it doesn't seem like that when you actually look at the map itself, but trust me, the map is unbelievably big.
Yeah, so I must be honest, I'm enjoying the new map layout in Fallout 76. It just seems a lot more accessible, I want to say. Like, you know, you kind of feel like you can remember where things are more accurately.
It is, and the good thing about the map is it actually sort of gives you this visual representation of where certain things are. So Keegan, if you just want to open your map for a second quickly again, go over to Mothman Museum, which
is right
zoom a little bit up towards the north, and there's it right there. Yeah, zoom in on that. And you sort of have these cool little visual representations of specific locations on the map. And I think that's so unique, you know, it's not just this hologram on the purple anymore. You can actually see this quirky art style where locations are, and it's
Speaking
so cool.
of which, I think it's time, Sam.
You think it's time?
Keegan is going. Keegan thinks it's time to summon Mothman with Sam. And I do agree because
we shall summon Mothman.
I mean, as great as your guys' playing has been, and I know this is Fallout, but sure. I do apologize if this seemed boring watching Keegan loot.
Even people. We just did that so we can make the trip. So.
Yeah. So we just needed to get a little bit of resources to make the trip to Mothman.
Okay.
But rest assured, we are heading there right now.
So you guys talk about resources. What resources exactly are you talking about? Is this food and water? Are there?
Yeah, basically.
Are there survival mechanics in this game?
There are survival mechanics in this game. So basically, the first thing they introduced in Fallout 76 is you have to maintain your food rations and your water. So you can get thirsty and you can get hungry. And what this does to your AP is that it depletes over time.
Yes.
So you have to make sure you're well fed. You have to make sure you're drinking water. And if you don't do that, your AP is going to keep on dropping until you can't use it anymore.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an interesting way of bringing it in. So it just reduces your AP. Nothing else really.
Eventually, once your APs drop down to its negative point as far as it can go, it'll start eating into your HP as well.
Okay.
And you do not want that to happen. Trust me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
almost daytime.
It's almost daytime.
Almost
Hopefully now we'll be able to get a little bit
of
a better view of what the world actually looks like in the colors, because I remember seeing videos of this
more dogs
being posted, you know, obviously online.
Yeah.
And one of the things that really did strike me from the get-go was just the color.
Yeah.
The color of the world was really cool.
No, this is a very vibrant world. So with the other Fallout games, you sort of have this, very muddy browns and dull grays. Yeah, so, it's a very colorful world.
I remember Fallout 3 was almost completely grayscale.
Yeah.
Basically, you know, everything kind of looked the same shade of green.
Yeah.
And brown, really.
Basically.
And Fallout 4 thankfully introduced a little bit better color, color and lighting and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was still, I want to say mono, not mono, but it wasn't as vibrant as what this world seems to be.
Yeah. Definitely. Look, I'm always going to have a soft spot for Boston in Fallout 4, but West Virginia, I think, might be my favorite Fallout location ever.
Okay.
It is so amazing.
Yeah.
And once you actually go into the various sections, the various areas of West Virginia, you will see that 1 minute you'll be walking through a swamp, and the next minute you're suddenly in this grassy plains, and then you can jump straight into like a beautiful vista or something.
And it's And you spoke about different areas and such. So does this game let you explore the entire map from the get-go?
From the get-go, yeah. So as soon as you step out of Vault 76, you can go anywhere on the map, and that's such a welcome change of pace for the series.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I remember also there was talk, I think you spoke about it off screen, where there's almost a leveling system with the enemies and different areas and such.
Yeah, so basically it doesn't really lock you out of certain areas.
Yeah.
Like in the previous Fallout games, if you came across a certain area like Death Floor territory and there's a bunch of level 25 Death Floors running around.
Yeah.
Obviously you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But the good thing about Fallout 76 is, regardless, it encourages exploration.
Yes.
So you can stumble across like a level 50 Scorch Beast, for
Yeah.
example, and you never have to engage it. You can just simply look at it.
Okay.
Yeah. It will not engage you unless you engage
Okay,
it.
so they've at least adjusted that where
Yeah.
you can still explore without the constant threats of having something
Yeah,
after you.
without the concentrate of things after you. The only things that do come after you are the ghouls in this game,
Yeah.
but that's expected with Fallout right now. Yeah.
And so, I mean, obviously with a mechanic, that sounds a bit strange considering it takes a little bit of the survival element out of that, where you're not constantly worried about this big beastie coming after you.
Yeah.
Does that change the feeling of the game at all, or is it actually a welcome
It's
addition?
a welcome pace. Like I was telling Keegan yesterday,
Yes.
I was busy exploring the wasteland, and one thing I saw in the distance was a Scorch Beast. So for anyone who doesn't know, a Scorch Beast is basically the dragon of Fallout 76. And I saw it flying in the distance, and it began flying around me.
Yeah.
And I noticed it did not even bother to just look at me. It just sort of, went in its merry way. And it was just so cool seeing this thing fly around.
Yeah.
And I love that. You don't have to actively engage with it, you know?
And so now, obviously, you've come across Scorched here. What is the difference between Scorched and Ghoul?
So basically, a ghoul is something that's a bit too far gone.
Okay.
They cannot be redeemed. They are mindless creatures.
Okay.
Scorched, on the other hand, they are somewhere between a ghoul and a human.
Okay.
So they are capable of using weapons.
I was going to say,
They have their own like improved AI and everything, and it really just
shows.
Yeah, it shows. It really shows.
And how are you guys feeling about the sorry, I actually just lost my train in watching Keegan take out Scorched people.
Yeah.
So we've got Keegan's number one fanboy once again, who says that the best game recently to see which side of the spectrum you fall on morally is Vampire. I think you need some soap. No, Sam needs some soap. Have you seen his character?
Yeah,
grab some soap.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna grab some soap. I need soap for my character.
So would you agree with that, Keegan? That Vampire is the best game to see on which spectrum you fall morally, in terms of chaotic evil, chaotic good?
I don't know. I feel like Red Dead Redemption 2 again. It's kind of ruined the whole comparing moral games for me, because
But I mean, Red Dead only offers an honor system. And you're either dishonorable or honorable.
But I mean, it still gives you a whole reflection on your choices, and it does make you conscious of the choices you do make.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I would agree. Look, Vampire, the system is. I know a lot of people don't give it much credit, but the system in that game is quite intricate, and
really is.
Yeah. And
so I mean, that's another thing as well, that a lot of games are doing more of these days, and that's the moral consequence thing to your actions, and certain actions will have a definite impact in the world on a permanent basis. Do you feel that 76 achieves this at all?
I haven't seen that being implemented yet, to tell you the truth. Enemies do respawn. So there isn't like a real, if I do this, this happens, or if I don't do this.
You guys seem to be leveling up pretty fast.
I don't know
thankfully, Fallout 76 is it doesn't take a lot to level up.
Okay. And would you say that the leveling system in the game is at least fair?
It is fair. Look, you can go as far as to be completing like 1 or 2 cycles, and you can level up.
Right.
So in that case, it's really fast leveling up, and I love that about the game.
Cool.
Yeah.
James again asks, are you guys happy with the new VAT system, and do you think they could have improved it?
I like the VAT system as it is, to be honest. I mean, I do love the fun fact of having it slow more time and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But this VAT system is really nice with the way it brings in the multiplayer aspect, because you do get to still
So
Yeah.
for those watching who might not know, who haven't actually played the other Fallout games yet, the Fallout 3's VAT system had a targeting system basically where everything stopped. So time itself basically stopped. You highlighted a target,
Yeah.
and you shot it basically. Then Fallout 4 introduced a system where your time didn't stop; it just slowed down enough for you to target your essentially where you wanted to hit them.
Yeah.
And in this one, you still have highlighted, but nothing slows down.
Yeah, nothing. It would be very difficult to implement that into an online multiplayer game.
And I think that was one thing everyone was worried about, was that it was a dedicated online game, but the VAT system wouldn't work then.
Yeah.
So do you feel that they've
I
done
feel
well
like, look,
in this VAT
eventually, at first the VAT system is a bit weird in the game. Like, you're so used to things slowing down and you're aiming for that perfect shot.
Yeah.
But with Fallout 76, after a while, I just got used to it. I felt like, as soon as I triggered the VAT system, I could just auto-aim for something and just immediately fire with pinpoint accuracy, and I love that now.
Okay. Kavesh,
Big cockroach.
Kavesh says, I feel like mods would save this game like it did for Skyrim on PC.
That is a possibility. Look, Skyrim. Okay, first of all, I don't feel Skyrim was as broken as maybe the other Bethesda titles when it came out. It sure was a buggy, glitchy mess, but and the mods did save it quite a bit. But Fallout 76, I feel like a lot of mods can improve it, and it does need a few improvements.
Okay.
Not just visually, but I think mechanically in some areas it does need improvement.
I remember Fallout 4, I think, got a texture mod, which allowed for 4K images or something.
Yeah. Look, if you even look at the PC mod that allowed Skyrim, basically it made it Skyrim remastered.
Yeah.
I feel like if they did that to Fallout 76, it would look amazing.
So I mean, there's also another argument against the whole, the Fallout games or 76 looking a bit outdated or whatever. Is Bethesda have always left room for the community to mod their games, and they've actively come out and supported that with the release of Creation Studio, or the Creator Studio, I think it's called. Which is the Bethesda's official platform for players to go and mods instead of doing it off Nexus mods and things like that. Yeah. So I do feel like Bethesda in that sense have always listened to the community and have always tried to engage with the community, allowing them to mod their games. But I kind of feel like this is a base system that doesn't need to be implemented. You know what I mean? It's something the development studio itself could focus on actually enhancing and.
Yeah.
Did we get to the lighthouse? Yes, we did.
You were actually just mentioning now about the safe. What was happening there? You said you couldn't access it.
Yeah, I couldn't access it because I didn't have the level, but this gentleman over here was so
But I saw your required levels just said 1.
Yeah, I don't have
level 1.
But how... So again, how are you meant to break into a safe at level 1 if you can't get to level 1?
That is
you use your
I believe I'm going to unlock it now.
Alright. Yeah. So here we got a first good look at the perk card system. So just talk to us a little bit about the perk card system in this. Obviously, you and you got your funnies and your chappies there. I saw.
So how the special system works is that you actually have these cards. Keegan, I don't know if you want to actually go into detail about this because it's really cool.
So the perk card system works off of the special that you see at the top, and they all work according to...
So you still got your strength, your perception, endurance, things like that.
Charisma, intelligence, agility, luck. But it's a bit more honed in, so they have a way for you to build on it. So if you prefer luck, you can literally, every time you level up, you pick a card and it'll add 1 point to your luck tree, which means you can start stacking cards to the luck thing.
Yeah.
So for example, now I will I'll pick this.
Okay.
Right. Which added another point to the tree, and on top of it, I get to rank up the card. So because I had 2 points earlier, I can just press accept and boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And I have another.
And is it true that these cards are swappable at any time?
Yes.
So you can change your perk system on the fly basically. Instead of before, it was like almost upgraded every single time. You spent a skill point to acquire certain skills.
Yes.
Okay.
So for example, here I can equip. So I have 3 unused slots, and I can equip a first aid, which is 2 slots. Yeah. Which gives me a better bonus. Yeah. And 1 slot.
Yeah. And do you feel that this is, because I mean obviously the perk system has always been pretty much the same throughout all Fallout games since the 3rd. So do you feel that this perk system works a little bit better for this setting?
I
or?
really love the perk system in this game.
So I must be honest, I feel like maybe there are a lot of Fallout fans out there that might agree that they've chosen a perk that they didn't really want to choose and they regret it. So having the option to swap it out at any time is actually
and remember
welcomed
back in
as
the
well.
day you had to find the nuke cola caps and you had to go to the cap machine and eventually you could rework your perks and there was a whole stress of its own.
Alright.
But here it's just so much better because you can do it on the fly. Sam, where are you?
We're at the top of the lighthouse. Yeah.
Jeez.
So basically, I just want to walk people through how you actually discover Mothman in this game.
Yes.
So if you actually start out in Vault 76 and you go right, actually if you're leaving it, you go left.
Yes.
And in going left or just head east, you will find this lighthouse.
Okay.
So once you get to this lighthouse, there will be a holotape that you'll need to pick up.
Yes.
The holotape is at the top of the lighthouse. Pick up the holotape and it'll give you a cool little history about the Mothman. So what we need to actually do here is wait until the dead of night for hopefully the event to pop up or for the Mothman to arrive.
So,
I mean, there's a vent right here. Could we not? Like,
no, this is another thing I was going to talk about. There was obviously the whole waiting and sleeping system in previous Fallout games.
Yeah.
Is the same system been implemented here?
So what you can do is, in other Fallout games, you know, when you slept a certain amount of time has passed, you can choose how much time you want to pass. In Fallout 76, you can fall asleep in beds, but all it does is just rejuvenate your health.
Okay.
Does it doesn't let you go to...
So it doesn't let you time
it doesn't, because this is an online game,
Yeah.
it's impossible to actually implement that without changing servers completely.
Yeah.
So,
Alright.
Oh, I can't put my camp down.
So if you wanted to wait until night now, you'd have to physically wait until night.
Yeah, to physically wait until night, yeah.
So I say let's go do something that's around here.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back when we see nighttime happen.
So once nightfall
comes... If we are still here during the nighttime, because we're not sure how long that's going to take.
Oh, I hope it doesn't take too long.
Yeah.
So we actually got a little bit of inter-chat banter going on here.
Yeah.
Between what seems like James, Kavesh and Cleo. So Cleo asked, do you guys know how long after the Great War this Fallout story set in? So like you said,
years.
25 years.
Yeah. 25 years.
And what's interesting about it is that actually the vault was meant to open 25 years after.
Yeah.
And you seem to exit, I think, 5 years after everyone else does. So the vault has been empty for 5 years.
Yeah.
Does the game ever explain why? Just does.
Okay, I'm not as far into the story.
Okay.
Maybe it doesn't explain that, but so far there's no explanation as to why that happened.
So, I think, if I remember right, it's oh wow, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, but just watching Keegan's combat show is actually fascinating.
Keegan, what are you doing?
Things are teleporting all over the screen.
How actually useless you are.
No, it's actually...
You couldn't even take out a mole rat.
This is actually a thing. So if your server's bad or anything, you will have teleporting enemies.
Okay.
And one minute you'll think you'll be aiming at them, and the next they'll be basically...
You're all over the place. It's like I was fighting a Dragon Ball Z character.
It's like instant transmissioning all over the place. Like
is this not weird? Dark enough for us to go do the Mothman thing?
Maybe. Let's go try it out.
Okay, you go do that and then tell me if it works. I'll just keep this entertaining.
Which direction was the lighthouse again?
It's this way.
So,
I kept the waypoint on it.
Alright, cool.
Yeah. So also, if you are watching, guys, remember you can also drop us questions or comments on our Twitter feed at Nexus_AWX. So yeah, getting back to this YouTube chat. So we got James, who says Cleo, I believe it's 20 years after the bombs dropped. Kavesh then replied saying, this is why I find issue with Bethesda messing up the lore by including these different monsters, obviously, which we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think that is something that they didn't really think of until, that's always the problem with doing prequels.
Yeah.
Is you want to introduce new characters, you want to introduce new monsters, you want to introduce new mechanics, and you want to evolve from your previous game. But by going back in the story, especially so far back, I mean, this is 200 years before Fallout 4. So to introduce new monsters, I mean, you said that obviously there's that possible idea that maybe the direct hit from nuclear warfare has changed these monsters a little bit more dramatically than we see in other games, and they just die out. But I think to not include them in the lore was a problem. I don't know. It's a nitpicky thing. I mean, yes, it doesn't change anything. I get that, and it's more for the lore babies who. But for a game like Fallout especially, who has always centered themselves so intrinsically on that lore. I think it's, I don't know, for me it's a bit of an issue.
Look, either way, West Virginia I think just takes place separate to, obviously geographically speaking, it's in another different state entirely. So you're obviously going to encounter certain creatures that are maybe native to West Virginia that you would see sort of radiated and evolved into these other creatures. So that's why you see, I'm not sure if the sloth is native to West Virginia, but there is a mega sloth in this game, a 8-foot tall mega sloth.
So actually, you found a workshop. Why are you glowing? What's glowing?
Oh yeah. Okay. So basically, when that circle shows up, it means you have to claim the workshop.
Okay. Right.
So you have to stand in the circle and wait for it to claim.
Can others claim this workshop after you've claimed it?
They will. They can contest for it.
Okay. They can contest. Okay,
so if other people are on the server and they came across your workshop, it will clearly say this is Keegan's workshop.
Okay.
Then they will have to fight you or the ghouls that do show up to get the workshop.
All right.
Yeah.
And so we've got James who's also saying, I can agree that the game would be pretty lame if it had the exact same monsters, but the change is annoying. I think that's what a lot of Fallout fans are feeling at the moment. You know, we are happy that there are new monsters and new creatures to fight, but it does mess up the lore a little bit. So I think this is going to turn into a Dragon Ball GT moment where they just go, you know what, it's not canon.
It's not really canon.
By the way, it's not actually canon.
I feel like that actually might happen. Is when Fallout 4 comes out, they're going to wipe Fallout 76 out of the canon of the series. And judging by the backlash, it probably will be for a good reason. Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, we've got James and Kavesh also arguing about, you know, modding in Fallout 4 made it more fun. You know, obviously your lighting, textures, everything looking better. You know, Kavesh is arguing for more from a Skyrim point of view, that Skyrim was actually better after its modding. And I think to a certain extent we can agree, because obviously we see mods being used in a funny sense. You know, we always see the Thomas the Tank Engine dragons and Randy Orton dragon. Yeah, the Randy Orton dragon. Was it Randy Orton?
No, it was actually...
no, it was Randy, but I think it was Randy the Man or Randy Man or something like that.
What is his name?
If you remember his name, please let us know, Kavesh. We're looking at you.
Sorry to disturb you there, but like, Gecko asked to be on our team. I invited him and he declined our invitation.
Oh wow, okay. I guess he doesn't want to be a part of our team, but he's following us around, so...
I feel like Fallout 76 is definitely better enjoyed with actual friends, rather than just people you inviting online to parties.
Yeah, because I think he's waiting for us to drop something good.
But I've also seen a few times your guys' invitations for partying has been declined.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, essentially what you can do is if you do join... Oh, I'm getting AP. I need to drink water.
Okay.
So if you do decline someone, essentially you can still tag along with them, but the only thing is you'll be benefiting by taking all of the free stuff that comes with it. And that's kind of scummy to do. I don't recommend doing that, guys.
Okay. James actually... yes. Doe, thank you very much. Randy Savage. That was the...
Randy Savage.
Yes. That is the dragon we look at.
Randy Orton. Randy Orton. Can you just imagine a dragon just showing up? And
it'll probably...
Okay, I don't know.
It'll probably pretend to be nice and then try and, you know, DDT you in the middle of flipping... I can't remember what Randy Orton's choke move was. James actually made a good point. Mothman's based off folklore in actual West Virginia.
Yes. The Mothman Museum, by the way, is an actual thing in West Virginia, and the Mothman is so intrinsic to West Virginia lore that you can't have one without the other. So, and also, fun fact: Mothman is actually one of the nicest creatures in this game. You can actually run up to Mothman if he does show up and take selfies with him.
Yes.
You can't actually do that in real life if Mothman ever existed. If it does exist, then...
I mean, if he really does exist, I would like a selfie with Mothman.
I would love a selfie with Mothman. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I mean, so far, how are you guys finding the game overall?
Overall,
you know,
look,
is it as bad as what people are saying?
It's not. You know, look, Fallout 76 is not as bad as people are saying.
Okay.
This isn't Star Wars Battlefront 2 levels of bad. Not to say the game was terrible or anything, but for what it did in trying to rip you off, I guess Fallout 76 is a lot more lenient with that.
Okay.
You can get a lot of microtransaction currency easily, the atoms in the game, and
so so you talk about the atoms.
Yeah.
What is the difference now between the the bottle caps and atoms?
So basically, the bottle caps is that it's the in-game currency, and atoms you do get in-game, but these are this is the currency that you use to purchase items on the Bethesda store.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the actual microtransaction currency.
Yeah, that's the microtransaction.
We have to defend
And,
the junkyard.
Alright, I'm on my way.
Where's the junkyard?
So you just got to pop up there by completing the event. What event? What's happening?
I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
I'm not
All
gonna lie
right.
to you.
So you're just gonna go defend Junkertown.
Just to say, like,
Yeah.
the game is not as bad as people are saying it is.
Yeah.
But go into this game with your expectations in check. If you
Yeah.
go into this game expecting it to be Fallout 4 online, that's what you will get, and you will probably love it. But if you're expecting it to be a new Fallout game, something that's reinvents the wheel, like sort of like how Fallout New Vegas did, you're not going to find it here. And I think, look, it boils down to the lack of NPCs, the bugs in the game, the glitches.
Yeah.
Those really do hold it back from being something truly.
But I mean, these are also things that can be fixed in future. You know,
Yeah.
with updates and everything. We have seen games in the past do this, where
Yeah,
we look
sure
at
thing.
No Man's Sky,
Yeah.
who got its updates and actually turned out to be a pretty. I mean,
Actually-
obviously not a great game.
Yeah.
It's not going to win Game of the Year editions or awards or anything, but it actually wasn't terrible. You know, it actually turned out to be. Yes, Nukatapper. Thank you for finding this. This has so far been one of the most popular mini games in Fallout 76, where you serve nuclear waste to people. I'm assuming.
I think it's colas.
Yes, nuclear cola. That makes more sense. So this was based off a actual 86-bit game called, I think it was called Bar Tap or something like that, but it was also along the same lines as this, where basically you were a barman and you had to keep your customers satisfied by,
This is actually really fun.
you know, obviously serving them and keeping things clean. I think you've got someone thieving from you or something going on here. You've got to remember the one that's not been shaken. Yes.
Alright, sorry guys, we're just having a little bit of technical difficulty. We're just going to have to cut out for a few minutes, but we will be back with the gameplay momentarily.
5 minutes.
Well, that also does allow us to wait for
Right.
nighttime.
That's 10. Yeah.
So
Still
basically,
learning how to count.
while we're on this, we can just Keegan, what's your impressions of the game so far?
You know what? Honestly, playing with you guys, it actually has been really fun. I'm not even gonna lie.
It's actually been really fun, he says. What does that mean?
I mean,
It's-
I've been playing it alone, and it's been somewhat of a learning
Okay.
experience for me.
Okay.
So,
But
I'm not gonna
overall,
lie.
just the game being like that, where
So what I want to find out is if you had, say, 3 or 4 friends all bought the copy,
yeah,
this would be a hell of an experience.
so it actually would be enjoyable.
I mean, considering the fact that you don't have to do anything meaningful and you still somehow level up.
yeah. All right.
I think that's the greatest thing.
But I mean, so you keep saying, you know, you're not doing anything meaningful, but is there at least some form of storyline that happens for you to follow?
there. I will say, without spoiling anything,
Yes,
you will
yeah.
get to a point in the game where something will happen that sort of drives the story forward,
Okay.
and it's something really cool. Again, without spoiling it,
Yeah,
I
so,
really
yeah.
don't want to spoil
Yeah.
this specific plot point. Is really cool. But it sort of ties into the lore of Fallout and
Okay.
introduces a few things that are really interesting.
Yeah.
I think that sort of gives you an incentive to sort of continue playing the
Okay.
game. The story it still goes on the same notion of, you know, go from point A to point B,
Yes.
do these fetch quests.
Yes.
But now that you have a bigger objective to work towards,
I mean, obviously, fetch
Yeah.
quests have always been an integral part in RPGs.
Yeah. Just not to this extent.
Maybe not
Fallout
obviously to
76,
this extent, but I think the idea of having your friends, being able to talk to them, being
Yeah.
able to engage with them as well,
Yeah.
just makes that experience a little less lonely
Yeah.
and a little bit happier. Actually, you don't mind doing it as much.
No, we really don't mind doing it that much.
Okay.
And
Alright.
look, even if you choose to play Fallout 76 solo, you
Yeah.
can still do that.
Yeah.
you
It's
can still have a good experience.
you can still have a really good experience.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, for the last few days, apart from dabbling in multiplayer once in a while, I did play it solo, and
Yeah.
I found it to be a very meditative kind
Okay.
of experience.
All right. So, when it comes to, you know, playing it solo, would you say that there is enough content to kind of keep you engaged at least?
There is enough content. Look,
Okay.
like I said, at the end of the day, whether you're paying
Yeah.
a certain amount of money for it, you're going to get your money
Yeah.
out of it. Because
Okay.
at the end of the day, this is a Bethesda game. There's a lot of content in the
Yeah.
game, and there's a lot to see in the game that will just be fantastic. Yeah.
Okay.
Not to mention the fact that I believe we should add that it's about $600 if you buy it in SA because of the delay.
Yes,
Yeah.
the physical edition.
Sorry, $6.99.
The physical edition.
You can
yeah.
pick up in Nexus. Yeah.
So I think that actually makes it pretty worthwhile
Yeah.
for that price point. I'd say.
Yeah. All right. So we're just gonna wrap up here. We're gonna show some final comments. We've got Kavesh Brovlife who says Keegan looking mad thick.
Thanks.
So,
I feel like you get the most compliments in
I
the streets.
do.
yeah.
People love you,
I
bro.
love this.
So I just want to mention, while we didn't find the Mothman in the game,
Yeah.
we sort of showed you how to get to finding the Mothman and
Yeah.
where you can go to
Yeah.
find him. So
Yeah.
hopefully, if you do pick up the game this weekend, you can go and try and see if you can find
Yeah.
Mothman for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Would you like to try and find Mothman, come back to gameplay, or do you think?
Should we actually just save it then?
Would it let me? No, it's not letting me. select still.
What we should do is just cut back to gameplay for a split second, so that we can actually do this.
What are you planning on doing? Finding Mothman?
No. Okay, you're just gonna have to wait for me to come upstairs to the lighthouse, which you guys
While
are.
we're waiting for sandwiches.
So while we're waiting for Sam,
Hot
let's
emojis for the chat.
so while I just want to chat on one final subject, and
Yeah.
that is what is next for Fallout.
This is a tricky thing. Fallout 5, look, the potential for that game could go anywhere. I sort of see Fallout 76 as, a stepping stone, sort of saying,
A filler. Almost.
yeah, almost like filler, like saying, while, Bethesda, we are making Fallout 5, but
Yes.
let's just wait, give
Yeah.
you guys something to do while you guys wait. And Fallout 76 maybe doesn't scratch the itch of a mainline Fallout game,
Okay.
but it really does
Yeah.
just feel like an
Yeah, yeah.
experience that's worth it for Fallout games.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you? Do you feel the same way as well? What's your opinion for the next Fallout?
I feel if they want the next Fallout to succeed,
Yeah.
let's be realistic.
Yeah.
They have to cater to the controversy that's coming out right now with the
Yeah.
engine and all that. If, regardless of what they put out, they have to unfortunately do that engine revision because that's what the fans want. That's what everybody's asking for.
Yeah, sure.
And I honestly feel if they do manage to get that done,
Yeah.
then
Alright, Keegan, can you just cut back to first person quickly
yeah,
and just look over at me?
yeah.
Right here.
So I have no idea.
I just want to give a message to everyone out there. Thanks a lot, guys.
Oh, Sam just loves you guys so much.
I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching the
Okay,
stream
yeah.
and really it's
so-
been fantastic.
So this time we're actually going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
And actually,
Go, though.
I mean, you can shoot whoever you want at this point in time. Hopefully,
pretty
people will
much.
see something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us, guys. This was Fallout 76. I'm sorry that we didn't get to show you Mothman or any of the other cool creatures.
Look, it was a long shot actually trying
Yeah.
to look for Mothman,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you guys know the location now. If you are picking up Fallout 76 this weekend, go and find Mothman,
Yeah.
go and find Scorched Beast, go
Yeah.
do some monster hunting, go find
Yeah.
all the monsters in this game.
And we hopefully you guys got a bit of entertainment from the character creation as well, watching Keegan make what did you name your character now?
Sasuke.
Sasuke!
Hopefully. Yeah, again, thank you so much for joining us, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy
Guys,
our
join me on
content.
my dance.
If you like this video, please click
Oh,
the
yeah.
like button. If you didn't, you can click dislike. We've got them doing. I don't know.
Quickly cut to
Sorry,
the gameplay.
and yeah, please make sure to follow us on our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well. You can catch us on Twitter at Nexus_AWX. Our Instagram is the Nexus Hub, and obviously Facebook is Nexus Digital. I think it is.
Just
yeah.
Nexus.
Just Nexus. Yeah.
And also head over to www.nexushub.co.za. Our Fallout 76 review is coming,
Yeah.
but we have a ton of Fallout content that you
Yeah.
can go check over there.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Thanks so much,
Thanks a lot,
guys.
guys.
Catch you on the
Bye.
next one. From us, it's a goodbye.